Tank, Floyd was mentioning he signed you after watching you face Devin Haney in a sparring session.
Y'all told me y'all had y'all got it in. I'm telling you, you wasn't
when that sparring session happened, did you feel you were almost auditioning for Floyd at that point, or did you realize that might catapult you to where you're at now?
I think that, it was make the best of my opportunity. I feel as though that, a lot of people was there that night, and that was my first time in the middle of the gym, so I had to give him my all, what I had.
It was getting it in. But and I had to respect him because he wasn't in no shape. He had a little gut. He ain't got no gut now. But at that particular time, it was getting it in. It was good work.
It was 1,000 people in there. You were sweating just standing there.
I think probably was in there.
Yeah,
it was getting it in. So, just them, two young competitors putting on the show. We had the gym on 100 degrees. That's what we do. And you just done an interview, and they talked about the gym being hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
How have you seen Tank grow since then?
Shit, bigger, better, stronger, faster. Yeah, so he's grown drastically. I mean, I feel like the puncher power he got puncher power at every weight. I feel like, just like myself, I was able to have that puncher power at 130, then had to punch at 135, and then 140, and then at 47, the body started breaking down. Like anything, the body started breaking down. But I still had all my faculties to still find a way to win and beat these guys.
When you talk about the body breaking down, Floyd, what were you experiencing? Was it just waking up in the morning?
No, I'm not going to tell you all that. We're not going to talk about that. I already told you we're going to talk about that in a documentary. We're going to talk about it.
Tank, what did you think about what Isaac was saying today? Like, you're number one, but he sees flaws, that he's going to do this and do that.
I feel as though he's a fighter, so he's definitely supposed to have that mindset. Once again, I'm not too far from, being that underdog, so I feel as though, he have an opportunity, and like myself, like when I have an opportunity, I try to make the best of it. So he's trying to make the best of it. We'll see come Sunday night.
He's getting a lot of support from Canelo heading into this fight. What do you think? You've worked Canelo's clubs, I think. You like Canelo. What do you think of Canelo kind of supporting him heading into this fight?
I mean, they both from Mexico, so I don't think too bad of it. He's supposed to support somebody from his country.
Gervonta, I know it might be a little awkward given that he's sitting right next to you, but could you talk a little bit about your relationship with Calvin and maybe how it's evolved over the years and the trust that you have in him at this point?
Calvin always been that male figure in my life that I always need. I think a lot of young kids that's coming up around the time I was coming up needed that father figure. You know what I mean? So I really wasn't getting it at home. My father was at home, so my next step was the gym. And Calvin was that guy. So I feel as though both of us was on that same mission. So we locked in, and before Calvin, it was his son. His son trained me, and I had a tight bond with his son, and his son was like a real deal guy. So I think I got that energy from his son, and then it carried on from his son to the father, and that's when we locked in.
We spoke before. He and I spoke earlier, and he was kind of telling me a lot about the tragedies of some of the guys that used to work out at your gym and stuff. And just kind of wondering, kind of seeing those things, experiencing those things. How did that kind of shape you into being the person you are now?
I mean, it just I was big on I was younger than them guys, so it was like just learning from their mistakes. I know what to do and what not to do. And I was traveling when I was 10, so I seen bigger things than Baltimore. So my mindset was a little different from everybody else. Everybody else was like, remain in the streets, but I was so focused on getting out the hood and the streets. My focus was boxing. That was my escape. So I kept that path, and I stayed close to my coaches, and we here now.
Given how long you guys have been together, what's like a communication like now? I assume that even, you know, in a full arena, everybody's going nuts. His voice is kind of the one maybe that you hear clearer than others.
I mean, I wouldn't just say Calvin, but everybody on this stage right now, I make sure I take, I make sure I listen to them, no matter what's going on. I don't really, when I'm in there, I really don't hear other people besides the people that you see close to me. So I'm definitely looking for that. I'll be looking for that voice, and with me, it just they walk in that path with me. So I always, count on, them doing that.
What do you think your success has meant to, kids that are maybe kind of walking the same road that you are right now, that are coming from like the same neighborhood and stuff, and, trying to make it in the gym?
I think they can use me or anybody on this stage. I feel though, because I learned from, every person on the stage before me. I learned that, stay focused and, just be who you be, and make sure you have somebody that you can count on. If you feel as though you can count on, believe in that person. I feel as though nobody that before you will direct you in the wrong direction. So I feel as though if you got that person that's willing to help you, then seek that help.
Gervonta, with Floyd being your promoter, he feels that some of the criticism you're getting is piggybacked off him, which is the negative criticisms he received throughout his career, being undefeated, never being beaten. Do you feel that that's kind of the uphill battle you're facing, that you take up some of the criticism that's like a reciprocal thing off Floyd?
Yeah, I feel as though they couldn't get him, so they forced that way on me. So that's exactly what I feel. But I know that I had the best team in boxing, so I don't let that really get to me. Sometimes I get frustrated, but it's always like these guys next to me that keep me focused.
What's it mean? I mean, I think you do have the best team in boxing. What's that mean to you to have that depth of wisdom and talent around you to call upon no matter what situation is going on in your career, in your life, and anything?
Where I come from, it's like not my age group, but like people like Calvin, Floyd, and Barry, they had that OG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My generation, they really didn't really look up to OGs, but I feel as though I was blessed to have people that, that's been through a lot. Everybody on the stage been through different stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel as though I'm blessed to have that, these guys that's walking that path with me. So I definitely want to thank each and one of these guys that, even when I'm, sometimes I don't listen. I mean, I'm my own man, so I want to make my own mistakes, but it is what it is. I definitely appreciate them.
Every day I wake up, somebody else calls you out. It doesn't matter their weight class. They could be super middleweight, 135, 140. Sometimes you respond, sometimes you don't, but you see all that?
I mean, that's what it is.
Why? Why are they calling you out?
Floyd, in the All Access, he threw a little shade at Tank about his basketball games. He wasn't making a lot of shots, but
I did.
But they did, yeah. They said that just that day after.
I throw shades.
No,
They were throwing shades.
they was throwing shades
A
at
little
him,
bit.
not you.
He's missing a couple bucks.
Right. Tank said it was a bad day. Did you have you played with Tank, and is he going to be on the Manny Pacquiao team that you take to face against Manny Pacquiao?
I don't know if he want to go over there and play. He can go over there and play on my team. Get him over there.
Tank, you're on a long string of KOs right now. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tank, you're on a long streak of KOs right now. Talk to me about the anatomy of throwing that knockout shot. Are you throwing these punches unconsciously? It seems like lightning bolts just coming out of nowhere sometimes. Where do these shots come from?
They come from your hands, don't they? They come from your hands, don't they?
I don't know, just, I've been doing it for so long, it's second nature. I don't think I'll be trying to throw with bad attention every time and just come off like that.
Do you have a favorite knockout you have achieved so far?
Leo.
Which one is it, Leo?
Leo.
Why is that?
What is that? That was nice.
Is that the destiny for Cruz on Sunday night?
We're not gonna tell you that. I told you that. Hold on. I just told you we're not gonna tell you the game plan. No, we're not gonna do that.
Gervonta, were you surprised that Teofimo Lopez lost to North Carolina?
I can't know that.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
You weren't surprised?
What?
How come?
That shit come with the territory. It's the fight game. You win some, you lose some.
You didn't.
Shit, I lost some worse than that. I lost my children's mother. So shit, we like I just said before, you don't always gotta not. You can have a loss, but be in the ring. So we have losses throughout life. So, you know, like I said before, you go through ups and downs in life. You win some, you lose some. But you know, we live and we keep fighting just throughout life.
Speaking of inside and out the ring, Leonard, you mentioned earlier while you were up there talking about Tank is that Tank seems to be getting it together both inside the ring and outside the ring. Can you elaborate a little bit on that for us, sir?
Well, did you guys get a chance to see the podcast that he did? This is the first in-depth interview that he's given where the fans got a chance to see a different side of him. I mean, if you just go and you look at how many views that interview has gotten. These are the kind of things we think outside of the box to cross them over because. And no, there's no shade against you guys, but you guys kind of just ask the same old routine, ordinary questions. And it was a chance to.
Hold on. Shit, ain't too many questions they can ask. Shit, they ain't never fought before.
Yeah.
So most time, motherfuckers doing an interview, you know, these boxing so-called, you know, like they got all the guys just commentating for the fights. I'm like, yo, no, Timothy Bradley do a good job, and Andre Ward, both of those guys do a good job, but. A lot of people, and I appreciate you guys covering boxing, but a lot of times you guys only can ask the questions that they ask because they don't really know nothing about boxing for real. I'm gonna say like Roger Mayweather, they really don't know shit about boxing.
But it was a good opportunity to.
Thanks for bringing him back.
To see a different side of him, and in my personal opinion, I think it was the best interview he's ever done that I personally witnessed.
What?
The interview you did on the podcast,
Oh, yeah.
it's fire. It's fire.
There was things I didn't even know.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Are you finding more comfort in doing that and opening up and really, you know, like the things you just said here?
I mean, I'm just overall with the sport, I'm getting more comfortable, you know, over and up a little bit. At first, I was a kid off the block. But I feel like I'm maturing as a fighter, as a person. You know what I mean?
I like that photo where you're in front, where you're on the block, and then you're standing in front of the Phantom, like a few years later or whatever.
That was a good picture.
The photo where you're on the block, and then a few years later you got the Phantom. You're standing in the middle with the Phantom.
Yeah, it was just a little motivation. That's about it.
That's dope. I like the photo.
Yeah.
Let me go back and like it.
Tank and Floyd.
That interview has gotten already almost 1 million views already. 24 hours.
Any thoughts on Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz coming up on Saturday night?
Wish them both nothing but the best. You know, Devin had a chance to work in our gym ever since he's been a little, small kid. Jojo Diaz, I think he beat a guy they didn't expect him to beat. So it should be a good matchup. But our focus is Sunday. I need everybody to tune in Sunday. I mean, like I always say, it's all about blood, sweat, and tears. He put in a lot of work, and I'm pretty sure this guy's looking to upset Tank. He's gonna come and bring his all. So we'll just see how everything plays out. But everybody that's watching right now, I'm telling you, tune in. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Thank you.
I'm good. Okay.
Thank you so much, Floyd.
Thank you, Floyd. Appreciate you. Thanks, Barry. Appreciate Tank.